You're listening to the AfterBuzz TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV Smash After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Smash After Show.
Hey everybody, Bing is for doing, and we are doing another episode of Smash, Season 2, episode, I don't even know, The Transfer. Oh, we forgot that part. 13? 14? I don't know. I'm Tamara Berg. I'm joined in studio. 15. I'm joined in studio by Kristin Carole.
Hey guys.
Sarah Mendoza.
Hello.
Kendra Kabasele.
Hello.
We have Stephen Lemieux running the board for us. Stephen?
Hello.
Okay.
I'm Stephen Lemieux.
All right, so a couple weeks ago, I was in a mood. Tonight, my brain is fried. So stick with me. The first thing that we have to talk about is that the show has officially been canceled.
No!
Which is why I played the goodbye song.
I know.
Thank you.
I noticed.
Symbolic.
Yeah, it came out this week, and we scooped the Huffington Post, I just want to say. Thanks to my girls who work at a place where they get information. I don't know if you want to say where you work. Anyway, and so we tweeted it out, fans saw, and we scooped some of the major news organizations. I just want to say
with all due
that.
respect, Miss Huffington.
Yes, exactly.
Not E, though, because E got it first.
Yes.
You can tell where I work.
Right, okay, so much for that secret.
Sorry. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll figure it out.
Oh, okay. I just didn't. I didn't know. I didn't know if you wanted people to know or not where we got the scoop. Okay, let's begin by talking Darren, Kara, Anna, Daisy.
Darren, Karen, Anna, Daisy.
Darren, Kara, Anna, Daisy. We got a lot of relationship stuff going on. Daisy, we opened seeing Daisy, or the first time we saw Daisy in this episode was she's in the chorus. Julia's sitting to that kick that she did that was full, like, over her head and hit the wall behind her practically.
Show off.
That would have been talented.
And
No wonder Derek likes her.
I saw that. I went, holy
Is that rude?
smokes! And then, right?
No, I thought that was funny. So.
And then,
I enjoyed
and
it.
Julia said, "Wow, she's got something." Well, I know what she's got.
So does Derek.
And so does Derek. So Derek comes in, and okay, we're just gonna be all over the place because all these stories intersect. But he decides to replace Anna just for one show because she's exhausted. Could I get replaced for just one show here?
You will never be replaced.
I'll take your place.
And it looks fishy to everybody. Everybody's kind of doing things. And he walks by Daisy at one point and says, "It's been taken care of." So were you guys onto him in the beginning? Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. 'Cause he's just been fishy with her since that encounter in the street. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it wasn't a stretch, I didn't think.
Maybe, I don't know if it's because it's been a couple days for me, but I didn't make the connection before he said that was the same girl
Oh, okay.
in the chorus.
It took me a second until he said that because we saw her earlier on as the understudy talking to
Right.
Anna about it, and I didn't put it together either that was Daisy because we hadn't seen her in a few weeks. And then when he said that, I'm like, oh, that's redheaded girl. I remember
the red
her.
hair. The red hair.
Ooh, the girl with the checkered past.
Yeah.
Well, not so much checkered past, but she has a past with Derek and, accused him. So Karen and Anna are talking about it, and Anna says, "Nope, he's replacing me. I'm just sure of it." Karen's going, "No, you're
She has
paranoid."
great intuition.
One of the things that I liked about this episode was the continual parallels to real life stuff, which is one of the great things about the show. Anna was saying, oh yeah, so-and-so who was the lead in Thoroughly Modern Millie got replaced for a night and was replaced by Sutton Foster, who's still on a break. And Sutton Foster, as we've talked about before, won the Tony for that show. So those are always fun to see. But Karen says, no, you're just being paranoid. And as you say, Anna had good intuition.
Yeah. Well, I think Karen's just trying to make Anna feel better. She's just trying to cheer up her friend and not focus on that negative energy. But as you can see, she was concerned herself because she went ahead and approached Derek about it and confronted him with that possibility.
Right?
I just think it's so shade. I was having some hopes for Derek in recent episodes that he was softening up a little bit, not being as shady and selfish and all of the bad qualities that we've seen in season 1 and more so in the beginning of this season. But this one, it just disappointed me because now I'm starting to hate him again after we've come so far in my liking and relationship with Derek in the show.
Well, yeah. Kristin, do you have any thoughts on that?
I was really disappointed in him. I don't like how they've turned it around slightly. Again, I don't mind his little bad boy stuff. That's fine with me. You know, him intimidating Jimmy, all that kind of little side stuff, because he's not going to, no guy will ever completely change. So I was okay with that. But yeah, how they wrote him with this and what he had done with Daisy, I think it was just almost a too amateur move for him. That's like a drunk college guy that goes back and does something like that. Hopefully not a director of a show. And especially how we had seen him in the develop so much. And then just to go completely back to the very beginning, it seems a little weird to me.
I felt like his development as becoming a good guy was, you know, I had a feeling it was going to be temporary. Because for one, that doesn't make good TV. And second of all, it's just, you know, he didn't have like Kyle dying in his life for him to turn around. He didn't have like a big moment that motivated him to become, you know, a better dude. He just kind of one day showed up and was like, better.
Right.
I think, well, I don't think it was his intention for it to be anything worse than, you know, getting what he wanted at the time from Daisy.
With Daisy, yeah.
Because I think she took it to the next level with recording it. Had it not been recorded, he could have just gone along his merry way.
Right, I agree with that. But and also, I mean, it's one thing to hook up with, you know, the good-looking whatever dancer on Broadway. But it's another thing for him to say, because he admitted that he said, well, why don't you show me that you really want this Broadway part or whatever? And, you know, alluding to the fact that she should sleep with him.
Right.
So he knows what he's doing. He's using it as a tool. You know, like he's using his power as a tool to get something from a girl.
Right.
Rather than it just being a hookup.
Right.
It's, I don't know.
Well, yeah, it was silly of him to say that to the girl who accused him of.
Right.
Yeah, that was incredibly short-sighted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could have, well, I don't condone it, but he could have done it without saying that.
Sure.
Then she'd have no evidence.
Or do it to another girl who hasn't accused you. Like, are you an idiot?
Right.
The fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, and thrice and 4 times with him.
Right. Now, one of the questions that we actually are getting on the chat roll from our fan who's apparently awake, the reasons why, we don't know your name, he's saying, you know, well, you guys have been hating Anna for weeks as the diva. So what about the other question of that? Are we happy that maybe Anna is getting replaced?
I don't think it has to do with her necessarily getting replaced. It was how she was replaced.
Right. Yes, of course.
Actually, watching the number, I almost kind of liked Daisy better, especially because you can tell that she's not sorry how she got there, and that whole song, I'm not sorry.
Right.
And you know that Karen's up there hating this girl right now. And I was going to make a comment before, too. Even if this tape gets out, who is going to want to hire Daisy after that anyways, especially if she went through with sleeping with him, because then you know that she blackmailed him. So I think even though, it'll screw up Derek, it'll screw her, too.
No pun intended.
Not in a fun way.
Right. And not in a fun way.
Yeah, not the way they did on the tape.
Unless a Kim Kardashian thing happens
Oh,
where she
goodness.
just becomes this big star out.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Anna actually showed some diva in her
Yes.
in her protest. So, go Anna.
Right, right. And our Twitter follower says hello, and his
Hello.
name is
Hi.
Pedro.
Pedro.
Hi, Pedro. Thank you for all your tweets and all your comments. Okay, what else about that? Is there more? Okay, what about the idea that Karen called him on it, said, look, you've got to really talk to me. He tells her, and then she kind of was like, well, you're on your own, mister. What, didn't she sort of do
No, but I
that?
loved your expression.
That was way more
cute.
expression than Karen.
Yeah.
I love Karen. I'm Team Karen, but
I'm
it's a
Team
little.
Karen.
It's all coming out now. The season's or the series is canceled. Now it's coming out.
No, it can be.
But I felt this episode when she confronted him, there could have been a slightly more emotion, and I usually like her.
Well, as
I think
you know,
her
as we've
character's
said before,
supposed to be more.
she makes passive choices a lot, and it's some people hate that. We're Team Karen over here on this side of the table.
I was Team Karen from the start.
Okay, all right.
Just a
Well,
reminder.
also, is it just me? But I started to get annoyed with Karen in this episode in her character.
Yeah.
Love Catherine McPhee, but with her character, I was really annoyed because who does she think she is? Like, I feel like she thinks she's the intermediary for every relationship in the show. You know what I mean? Like,
Wait,
tell Anna to go confront Derek. She just. Well, Derek, we have a great relationship.
Well, but see, that's the thing. She has known Derek for a lot longer. I mean, in Broadway time, she's worked with him on another show, so she feels like she's doing her a favor. I don't disagree with what you're saying, but in this particular situation, I can see why she intervened. But yeah, she kind of seems like she's the boss of everybody with relationships.
Well, yeah, it makes it more personal rather than if Anna went in and it's just on a professional level, because we've seen Karen hang out with Derek.
Right.
So it'd be like,
and other things.
yeah, exactly.
And that's another thing that annoys me is that she's to me it's like she swears she goes in there being professional or just a friend, but she knows she likes the attention she gets from Derek, and maybe that's why she always tries to connect with him and approach him, because it makes her feel good that she knows deep down inside Derek likes her.
Right. So she's using that.
Yeah, she's just. I feel like she's feeding her ego with multiple things at this time. I don't know. Am I just hating on Karen right now?
Sometimes people do that. I thought it was really kind of silly that by the end, Derek was saying, this is a career ender for me, and I can't retaliate in any way. Did that seem odd to anybody else?
About Daisy, you mean?
About Daisy when he was talking in the end with Karen and Anna in the bar. It was like the last scene,
like
one of
he's
the last scenes with Derek.
Really defeated.
Where everybody was in the bar and he was going, yeah, and they were saying, you should go back and she's never going to let that tape out and you're going to be fine. And Anna goes, but this is my career or my job. And he goes, but this is my career and I'm stuck. And maybe the reason why he said that is because he's just using that as his front. That's his story. She's got a sex tape on me, but really he just wanted to replace Anna and put... Because it just seemed odd to me that this guy, who's one of the most powerful players on the Broadway scene, didn't have the guts to refute her claims.
There may be more to it that we don't know.
Well, yeah, I think it is. I think that's the case.
And maybe the initial... Did they settle outside of court about the first...
I can't remember.
The 5, because she was the 6th out of the 5.
I don't remember if they settled out of court or the case got dropped against him.
Okay.
But
I'm just wondering, maybe he's trying to hide that.
it didn't become anything big. I do know that.
Or maybe he's thinking that he's gotten by with so many things already in his career that this could be the one thing that really breaks him, and he doesn't want to take that risk.
Okay. All right.
I also feel like he's been slightly defeated recently, just in terms of he had the lawsuit, then he lost Ivy, and then he almost had and lost Karen, and then trying to get Ivy back, saying that he loved her, and she's like, I don't think so. And
Right, he's had very few wins.
exactly. So he's not good in the love life. I'm not saying there's not a good reason for it, but for him, he's defeated with that.
Right.
And I think that's why, and then he's got these 2 young girls telling him what to do, one of which who rejected him. He's probably just like, shut up, I give up. You know, I'm stuck, this is how it's gonna be, leave me alone.
Well, and she's talented, so it's not like it's a horrible choice and he put someone bad in the spot.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily make him look bad as a director. Unless you want to talk about him just maybe looking. Well, no, I don't even want to finish that statement. I just totally edited in my head. That was a stupid thing I was going to say. No, I'm not going to say it anymore. Let's talk about that.
But we want to hear what you guys think with this. Do you think Daisy was actually a better choice, or do you think if she is something more on Derek? We love to hear your comments on iTunes. Please go and rate and comment. We do read them, and even right now there's a chat going on. Feel free to come in on the chat and talk to us or call in. And we also love hearing from you guys on YouTube. We do read those as well. And Tamara even commented
I want to
this week.
talk, and I commented on YouTube, thanking you guys for all your comments. It's very fun to read them, and I have a couple that I just wanted to talk about. Start to be number 1, who's one of our big fans, who's in Ireland. Hey, girl. She says. She's talking about Derek being nasty again, and she's like, yay!
No.
And also Eileen getting sneaky, which we'll talk about in a bit. Yay! So that just made me laugh. She says that we're great, which I really appreciate. And she says, what are we going to do without Smash? Listen to the soundtracks and dream of what Bombshell and Hit List are like on stage. Also, we got some Emmy predictions from a couple of people on YouTube. One of them being Kevin Falk, and Falk is one of my family's names. I wonder if we're related.
Oh.
And let's see, one of the other things. Oh, this was a great one
predictions, right? Not Emmys.
Sorry, yes, Tony
Okay.
predictions. Yeah, Tony predictions, not Emmys for Smash. Thank you for clarifying that. Also, Kevin Falk talked about, he says, I always felt connected to the show and have loved it all season, but I do see what they're saying here, talking about us. And he says, don't worry, guys. They said season 2 finale will feel like a series finale with no cliffhangers and only happy endings. And it is a series finale, so so that'll be at least satisfying. I'm not sure where we're going to talk. Let's talk about this now. This isn't so much about YouTube comments, but it's one of the comments that has come up several times in lots of places that I saw. There's a lot of parallels between this show, between Hit List within this show and Rent, and we can talk about that a little bit in the news. But one of the comments that I read over and over again was people feeling really badly for Jesse L. Martin and Daphne Rubin. What's her name? Vega? Daphne Rubin Vega, I believe that's her name. Because they were both in the original cast of Rent. And so they knew Jonathan Larson, who died as Rent was opening. And so they were basically what the comment was that it kind of seemed insensitive that in last week's episode, Jesse L. Martin ended up using Kyle's death as a marketing ploy. And since the show Hit List is a parallel to Rent within the real world, people were just feeling like that was a really terrible position to put the actor Jesse L. Martin in, who plays Scott on Smash, and have him basically look like a bad guy in a situation on TV, which was kind of too similar to the situation that he lived in real life. So anyway, I just wanted to kind of address that. I don't know if you guys have any comments on that at all. But I just want to talk about that. Dead air.
Really
okay.
I'm trying to think.
That's very deep. I was trying to think about that too. Just in terms of, I would imagine, because this show is so connected to Broadway, that I would hope, at least, that they would run it by the actors.
Yes.
Because it does seem to follow very much certain themes of different shows. Even the fact that it was Marilyn Monroe and all the Marilyn Monroe stuff was coming out.
Yes.
I would think if they had a problem, and again, I would hope that it was voiced or they were approached about it. Maybe he liked that aspect of it that
Right?
Yeah,
And-
maybe
and
it was, he's able to kind of bring attention to the fact that that happens in
yeah,
real life.
maybe it happened
Yeah.
with Ren.
Yeah. We don't know.
Yeah.
We're just
We don't know.
speculating.
Right, and you know, and
None
one
of this
the,
is true.
Yeah, exactly. And one of the other things that
Yeah.
that was sort of chatted about out in the world was people were wondering. Jesse L. Martin doesn't have an active Twitter account, so he doesn't tweet. But people were kind of wondering if maybe after the show is finished, after Smash is finished, maybe he will be kind of open about what his thoughts were on it. But you know, for now, we don't know.
It'd be interesting to hear. What he thought
It
about
really would be. It really would be. Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Oh,
Go ahead.
before we leave the Derek thing,
Yes.
if anyone wants to comment on YouTube or iTunes about Tom and Derek's fist bump, I need some clarity on that.
I wrote that down actually because I thought that was so funny when they
Yeah.
saw each other and they just like
But
did, like,
then
a
I had this whole
fist
like
bump,
flash
fist
of
bump.
their lives flash before my eyes because I was like, wait, are they friends? Yeah. Okay, yeah, that was okay.
Yeah, they've been friends recently.
Yeah, but it was just weird because that shows like really. Did you notice it?
I actually didn't. No.
It was as
It was
soon
like a
as
fist bomb, like behind someone's back when they were all sitting
In the bar, at the last
yeah.
scene in the bar?
6, yeah.
As Tom and Eileen came in.
Yeah, Tom and Eileen were
I
walking in and
completely missed
saw.
that, and I watched the show twice.
It was
Yes, I
it was
missed
Jimmy
I
and
have
then
to watch it 3 times now.
Derek. So
Yeah,
Derek went
yeah,
over
yeah,
Jimmy
yeah.
to do a
And
fist
he reached
bump
behind-
to
yeah.
Tom.
You have to
Interesting.
see it.
I will. I'm going to go back and watch it a third time, or at least that scene anyway. Okay, let's move on to Tom and Julia and Eileen. All righty. Tom and Eileen begin this episode by preparing for a concert that Julia and Tom are going to be participating in. It's not known to the world that their partnership is breaking up,
Yet.
and they're doing it's allegedly not known to the world, and they're doing this concert that's going to be a review and be all awesome. Eileen's heavily involved, and she's when I watched this the second time, I totally saw it all coming. But when I watched it the first time, they got me hook, line, and sinker. That Eileen was pulling all the strings behind the scenes with
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
Now, did you guys see that coming, or were you along
No,
with
and-
me
I
through
kind
it?
of saw it.
Real.
Oh, Kendra, do tell.
She's psychic.
I mean, you could just see it. I was watching the publicist.
Yes,
Body
Agnes.
language and Eileen's, and I mean, it crossed my mind. I didn't know for sure if that was what was going on. That's kind of Smash's MO.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, I didn't see it coming, and I
Okay.
was pleasantly surprised and satisfied about that because the whole Jerry thing was so repetitive
Yeah,
and redundant
yeah,
from every
pretty
other.
sick of hearing that
Yeah,
every
I mean, it
week,
always
yeah.
happens. So, it's just that again. But
Oh,
no,
look,
they
it's bad guy Jerry again.
right,
Right.
but they threw me for a loop, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
They almost did it to themselves though with that Q&A with Ivy the week before.
True.
People could have speculated just from that
That's true.
awkward,
That's very true.
exchange.
Maybe that sparked the idea for Eileen
Possibly.
because maybe she was thinking this could cause a lot of talk and buzz.
Yeah.
Let's capitalize on this drama going on.
Maybe Rosie O'Donnell called someone. No, I'm joking. Sorry.
From the audience. She's like live
Yeah.
tweeting.
Maybe that was it. Yes.
It's okay. She'll be at the Tonys in 2 weeks.
Right. That was the best cameo.
There was another cameo in tonight's episode. I wrote it down. There's so many pieces of paper to. Oh, okay. Lindsay Mendez. Early on in the episode, the girl singing at the piano with Tom, and he goes, "Good Lord, I hope that thing is insured."
Right, yeah, she was
She
great.
did seem like she
Lindsay
was
Mendez,
somebody.
and then we had a great cameo a little later on in the bar. The gentleman who came up to Tom and said, "Gosh, I didn't get a chance to see Bombshell. I hear the tourists love it." And Tom says back, "Yeah, sorry, I didn't get to go see Bring It On. It closed so fast." I mean, the barbs between the two of them was hilarious. And that gentleman is Lin-Manuel Miranda, also a relatively famous Broadway actor. So there.
Very nice.
Okay, so we have a caller calling in. Hello, are you there?
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Who are you?
Hi, my name is Blake.
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 Hello, Blake. What have you got to say? Talk to us.
Well, this is for the Smash one, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You're on with us on Smash.
Well, I think the connection between Derek and Tom was really awkward. I didn't really see that coming.
Oh, really?
The fist bump.
Yeah, the fist bump. It really got me confused.
Same here. That's what I was saying. It was weird.
I was
It came
amused
out of
by
nowhere.
it.
Did you think that it was not genuine, or one of them wasn't returning it, or what was awkward about it to you? Because I didn't see it, so you guys have to tell me.
I just think it was way out of character. Both of them really didn't like each other, it seems, and I didn't really like it.
Okay, it did not speak to you. Did you have any thoughts about the whole replacement of the diva thing, Anna, and how that went?
I think that was handled correctly because she was messing up a little bit.
That's
but
true. That's a good point.
I
We didn't
think-
mention that.
But so was Karen.
Yeah, she was messing up, but I think it was wrong for Derek to go behind her and basically get Daisy when he did sleep with her. And yeah, that's a... Well,
Yeah, but you got to
that's what I
remember
did in
his.
the first
Yeah, you got to
season.
remember his motivation was not necessarily for the good of the show. He was just trying to protect himself and his career, right?
Yeah, definitely. But I think Daisy was just using him with the whole sex tape and just basically like, if you don't give me the part, I guess I'll go to public with it.
I'm totally doing that to get my next job.
You heard it here first.
Yes, the AfterBuzz exclusive.
What's Jack Davenport up to next? Actually, I heard he signed on for something, potentially.
What was your favorite part of this episode?
My favorite part was actually the number we saw from Hit List.
The
That was
the
actually-
opening one, or the one that was later on between the two girls?
Between the two girls, I forget the
Oh,
title.
I'm not sorry.
I'm not sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry. That was a really good number. Daisy, I have to admit, Daisy sounded good.
I thought she was
Yeah.
excellent. I thought she was really, really good in that number.
And I think she really captures the diva type of persona.
More so than Anna, who
More
we've been
so, yeah.
criticizing in that role all this time.
It suits her
Yeah,
more.
definitely.
So, Blake, did you not enjoy Anna as the diva as well, or did you like her in that role?
Anna, she was good as a diva, but now that I'm starting to think about it, Daisy might bring on a new spin to it. She might bring in new characteristics to the diva. Like, I don't think we know too much about the diva so far, but maybe Daisy will give us a new perspective.
I'm just hoping she's going to be able to walk in those shoes a little bit better. And I mean literally walk in those shoes better.
Yeah, definitely.
Those shoes were a little bit of a problem for Anna.
Yeah.
Blake, we're going to go on to our next topic. Do you want to stick with us, or is there anything else you wanted to bring up?
I'll stick around.
Okay. I need to talk about Julia. We need to talk about Julia and the addition of, okay, this is something I want to talk about. She and Derek and Jimmy are talking about how the show's not quite working, and Jimmy's saying, I'm absolutely not going to change the show. Then Jimmy and Julia go to the apartment, and she finds the card that prompts her to go into this new adding of social media to the show, right? The idea is send texts, live updates during the show. We're going to work it in. As long as we have the money, we can do it. All right, Blake, you're first because you're our guest. What did you think of that idea?
I think that was a great idea.
Okay.
I think it was genius of Kyle to think of that, and then genius of them, now that they have the money to do it, that they did it. It worked.
Okay.
It got the audience to like it.
Sarah, what did you think?
I always like when you are able to make the audience a part of the show because
Yes.
it just brings them more into the
Yes.
world of the theater. So I like that. I thought it was really unbelievable, though, that they were able to pull it off in that same day.
Okay.
And so quickly.
Kendra?
With Jerry's money. I liked it too. I think it made me think of back when they were kind of, you remember they announced before the show, instead of saying turn
Don't
off
put away your
cell
phones.
they said keep them on, tweet.
Yes.
So it kind of was an introduction to this idea.
Yes.
I liked it.
Yes.
I agree. I think it fit in really well with the whole hit list theme. And it wasn't completely innovative. Maybe it slightly is for the theater, but they do use it for sporting events. I feel like, if I go to a Lakers game out here, they'll have like the text scroll and all that kind of stuff, but it does show the power that Jerry has where they're able to do that so quickly.
I thought it was a terrible idea.
Debbie Downer. No,
I know.
Kidding.
It's a bad idea with a big star next to it.
Big black star next to it.
Here's the thing. It's
Why do you think that?
because I was getting there. Don't you worry, Blake. Don't you try and take away my job. Because, okay, first of all, I know nobody in this room is going to believe me, and Blake, you're not going to believe me either, but there is no such thing as multitasking, all right? I learned the term for it this week, and now I can't remember. It's something like rapid toggling between tasks, okay? You can't pay attention to two things at once. People can't do it. And I know you all think you can, but you can't. All right? That is just a fact. And you cannot believe me if you don't want to.
But they were only doing it after the musical
listen,
breaks.
I'm getting to it. No, here's the thing. In order for this whole thing to work, audience members have to have their phones on all the time during the entire show. So they're going to get a tweet from the show, and then my girlfriend's going to tweet me, and then I'm going to get a text message from my mom, and then I'm going to get that email, and they are totally going to check out of the show and are going to be looking at their phone, and it ruins the audience's experience. Plus, what if I'm trying to watch what's on the audience? All I can see is your damn phone in my face because the light's so bright. I think that the concept was a good idea of giving people live tweets, like you were saying, have the scroll going around so that everybody can experience it, but doing it to people during the show, you can't control them getting only your messages. And what if there's somebody who gets 15 messages a minute on their phone?
They don't participate.
Maybe they have to go to the show more often then, and it'll be more money because they miss parts.
Because it would have sucked the first 10 times they went because they would have been interrupted the whole time.
Or they sign you up with a different username, and then you just check that.
Yes, I'm sure that's exactly how it happened, Kendra.
Okay.
So that's where I'm going to throw the implausibility flag, right?
But I did read, I read, it was either an article or a book I was reading that said the brain can focus on 7 things maximum at the same time.
I would like you to give me that source. You don't have to do it now, but I would love to. I would love to see that because everything I have seen says you can't actually focus on things. And the other thing is just look at it from the logistical standpoint. You've got light in your audience, so that just literally pulls focus from the stage. The reason why the audience is dark and the movie theaters are dark is so that your attention is directed toward the screen. And I love the idea of having the interaction. I do think that's good, but it's not controllable. That's my criticism.
One thing I noticed, I don't know if it's, I don't know if it was through the whole show, because if in that
I'm not saying, no, it wasn't through the whole show.
Okay,
but you can't turn off everything else that's coming to my phone.
Right, but they give the audience a moment, I think, because when they were showing that, it was just tweets up on the screen, and Karen and everyone, they were off stage.
Okay, now everybody in the audience, turn your phone on, because we're going to all tweet you. That's not how it happens.
Leave them on.
I know, but I already said, did you not hear me talk about my mom texting me and my uncle sending me an email and my Facebook updates and my Twitter and my Instagram?
And you look for
right, and I'm going to look down here and I'm going to miss Derek and Tom fist bumping because I'm too busy looking at my phone, and that was critical to the story.
Because then the house lights go
You're
down,
not going to convince me.
Okay, can I say something though? Can Sarah say something?
Miss Mendoza.
Yes. Thank you, Miss Carole. So I do see your point, but I feel like you can't control that anyways with an audience, because if you say turn off your phone, a lot of people are not going to do it, and they might sneak a look at their phone anyways. So you're right, it's not controllable, but I don't think it's a bad idea because people might be looking at their phones every so often and not you know, it's just a normal thing. They're already doing it.
Have you been to live theater?
I have several times.
And have you paid $100 for a ticket?
And I don't look at my phone even
and
if it's
has the
on.
person next to you looked at their phone?
No.
Because when they do, they get like elbows in their chest and like people bumping the back of their, because I've paid $100 to watch this show. I'm not, turn off your damn phone. You're ruining my experience.
No, I agree. And most people don't do that because they don't want to be rude to the person next to them. So the new thing that I just thought of is I feel like a lot of people would miss this cool trick because they're not going to be paying attention to their phones and being polite to the people around them.
So here's what you do. Because they have all the money in the world, because Jerry's their sponsor, their patron, right? Everybody gets a temporary cell phone that they take into, smartphone that they take into the audience.
Maybe that's what it was.
I'm sure that's exactly what it was. And then the experience is controllable.
But no, okay, but
we're only going to talk about this for 20 more seconds.
It's such a heated debate.
Because I see your point, but at the same time, my phone's not going off every second with like my mom or my brother or someone texting me, so I wouldn't see how it would be a problem to get a text from the show, unless maybe I'm the only one who's not getting a text every second of every day.
You're the only one.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm going to start texting you every 45 minutes.
Kendra, I'll text you more.
Okay. I mean, I just don't need the extra.
Blake, have I changed your mind?
Yeah, definitely. Now that I think about it.
Tamara, you win. Okay.
Hey, I have a degree in public speaking, and that involved debate, so I know how to argue a point. Blake, we're gonna let you go because we may have another caller coming in. But thank you for calling. We really appreciate your comments, and let us know what you think about our podcast on iTunes and/or YouTube afterwards. But thank you so much for calling in. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Blake.
Thank you.
Enjoy the finale.
Bye. Okay, all right, so we talked about Julia. We know plenty about the show.
Oh, my God.
How I felt about that. Okay, the other thing about the Tom and Julia story that I wanted to talk about, we'll talk about their song, but at the very end, they had the conversation in the bar, and she said, I don't know, excuse me, I don't know how to be just Levitt, or just whatever her last name is. And
Houston
he says,
and Levitt.
Houston. And he says, I know, that's why I think it's the right thing. Did you guys have any reaction to that?
I thought it was a great eye-opening statement from Tom.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to grow when you're always stuck in your comfort zone.
Right.
So it's just time for them to evolve and seek new adventures and to progress as artists in that industry. And I think Tom sees that opportunity. And I think Julia knows it deep down inside too, but she might be a little bit more hesitant to, leave.
To put words to those feelings even, because
she needs encouragement. A little push in that direction. I think Tom's ready to be that push.
One of the things, though, that I think is very lucky for both of them is that they're both in their split having some modest success. You know, he's got a directing gig and she's got a writing gig. Now, granted, it took her a little while to get to hers, but if one of them was having the great success and the other was sitting there going, please, please, please come back, like a typical, like some typical breakups. That was my crawling bunny. I don't know. That was me being desperate is what it was. Apparently, you haven't seen that very much. Other people have. So if one of them was not doing well, I think it would be much harder. But I found that scene to be really touching. And
it seems more sincere now than it did last episode. Or more, they've come to a place where there's not much anger left or resentment. It's more so they're left with what they have and they're learning to deal with it.
Now, knowing that, do you think that the breakup is going to stick? Or do you think that they'll come back together? Maybe not by the end of the series, but in season 4.
I was going to say they can always
non-existent season 4
get back together later on. It's not like the end of
It's not like one of them is dying.
Yeah.
Right.
And I still like the idea of potentially, well, now that it's not sold to Scott, maybe she finishes Gatsby and that's one of his directorial play debuts.
Oh, so they work in their own separate ways, but come together on a project in different ways.
Because she still has to finish writing it, and now she needs a new place to have it performed, which shouldn't be too hard for her anyways.
Right.
He doesn't have anything right off the bat right now either. They could still do that and still do other things. I mean, he might have that review.
Yes.
In the works.
Yes.
Potentially if he gets nominated for Best Director at the Tonys and all that. Was I the only one also? I felt at the beginning of the episode and not towards the end, but I wrote it in capital letters. Why is Tom such a baby again? I felt like he was pouting at the beginning, and then as soon as Julia showed up and they had their conversation, she sang with him, it got better. It feels like anytime they're apart for too much, like he just bangs his, fist and be like, I want my Julia.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with that. It didn't.
I love him.
It didn't occur to me as we were watching. He's my favorite character on the show, but it didn't occur to me while I was watching. But now that you mention it, I agree with that, and I think it has everything to do with him needing the accolades because he's still insecure as a director. And he was saying, what about the director, Tony Award, Tony nomination? When's that going to come? And they said, well, frankly, people are saying you're going to be lucky if you do get it. And so I think it's just, especially because he's not partnered in any way anymore, he's kind of reaching out to get that feedback and the warm fuzzies.
That's true, because he doesn't have a boyfriend anymore or nothing like that.
No, he doesn't. Julia standing up at the end and telling Jimmy, I can't help hit list anymore. Did that strike anybody in any particular way? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I didn't like that a little bit, actually.
You felt like she was abandoning them some?
Yeah.
Really?
Not that she had any sort of agreement, but how she did it so abruptly, and she had been working with them for a while, and I said, oh, it's only the transfer, but I felt it was cheap to do it on the phone. I felt like how she did it. Yeah, well, and then also how we saw it, it was right after she talked to Tom. He already agreed that they should go their separate ways. I don't understand why she wouldn't help them a little bit more, especially since Jimmy's not used to that. And she said earlier on she needs to see this whole way through for Kyle, and then whoops,
and then
I changed my mind.
Yeah. So what
except not the whole way through, just most of the whole way through.
Right. I want to know the reasoning for why she changed her mind all of a sudden in that moment, because she could have, if she wasn't available right then and there, because Jimmy was all about doing it right then and there, then she could have just said, like, maybe we can do it tomorrow, or later tonight. I'm not free at the moment.
She makes a lot of split decisions, even when Tom was like, oh, don't sell Gatsby to Scott, even though she went in there. Then immediately the scene after, she's over at Scott's like, I changed my mind. Then he's like, don't change your mind. Then she goes back to Tom, I didn't change my mind. So she needs to take a minute, maybe just to like sleep on it.
Yeah.
Or something. And that's, that's one of the things that a criticism that we have about the show a lot is that the characters aren't, and some of the storylines aren't as grounded as they feel like they need to be. Kendra, do you have any like psychological reading on Julia?
I mean, I just thought maybe she was feeling guilty about something in some way and splitting her time, maybe because you can't focus on two things at the same time. Maybe, allegedly. I'm going to debunk that.
Okay,
maybe she was just feeling some sort of guilt and was feeling overwhelmed. I don't know. She has some sort of loyalty to Tom, so even though he says, let's go our separate ways, I think she's almost like a child, too, in some ways. Like, no, you're my comfort blanket or safety blanket.
Right, that's what I think. So Tom, because now they're doing this individually, they both got things to learn, and Tom, he's pouting because he needs the affirmations from other people, and he's still trying to find that confidence on his own. And then with Julia, she maybe needs to learn not to be so just reactive, and more so think things through and maybe find people to consult with rather than just reacting right away before she actually makes a decision like that, and not be so emotional in her decision. So I feel like they just both have their process that they have to go through in really finding how to be without relying on the other person to like knock some sense into them with every situation.
But after saying that, I could see where they wouldn't really last on their break.
and they're obviously successful and talented. It works as a combo. So I think that it's absolutely a possibility that they will come back together again. We need to get moving on to our next topic. Let's go to Ivy. Ivy. Congratulations, Ivy. You have a bun in the oven. Okay. Okay, first of all, Karen and Ivy talking about can we be adult, and then by the end of the episode, they're not adults and they're not friends.
Although I didn't think Karen didn't tell. I mean, you tell your best friend everything pretty much. It was Anna was in the wrong to say that to Ivy.
The way she said it
and
as
then,
well.
Yeah, exactly. So then Ivy to go and attack Karen about it. Although I guess maybe she thought maybe she leaked it to the press because of that.
Yeah, well,
that was my only reasoning behind. Well, maybe that's why she's being so. Or she's pregnant, so she's got hormones.
Or
so
she's hormonal.
But
well, the other thing is that Ivy was very vulnerable through this whole episode. She was really kind of, she was feeling like she was being attacked or about to be attacked in the press. She had to do this review and do a striptease. It was like revisit the nudity
which is funny
angle.
because she didn't even strip. Although I kept feeling like her top was going to fall
boobs were
down.
gonna fall out.
I thought the girls were going to come out.
Oh yeah.
It was dangerous.
And then we find out that she's pregnant, and we know from the coming ups that it's Derek's baby.
But we haven't seen her with anybody else. But I mean, she could have somebody on the side.
Wouldn't it be a scandal if it was Dev? It's been too long.
Oh my
That would have been something.
Well, she was
Long
looking out for
gestational period.
JFK, the actor who
Yes,
did, but that never happened. So
Right. Yeah, that didn't happen. So it's pretty
I
much
missed
got to
the
be.
coming up. So what was going on?
Well, somebody says, "Are you sure it's Derek's baby?" I can't remember
I
who
think
it
that was Sam, actually.
Yes, it was Sam saying, "Are you sure it's Derek's baby?" So it's Derek's baby.
Right.
And then Anna was going to sue Hit List, potentially. And then people think that Julia wrote the show, so Jimmy was kind of pissed about that and was going to confront her about that.
So,
and Rosie O'Donnell reads, and the Tony goes to. We see Ivy having morning sickness as well.
Right, in the Maryland outfit.
Yeah.
In the Maryland outfit,
Oh,
yeah.
geez.
So that's
What is going to happen to that show now that she's having a baby?
Her nudity scene's going to be way different.
That's going to be way different indeed.
Marilyn Monroe had some curves.
She
Maybe
did.
not in the abdominal region, but she had some curves.
and I bet her
Just
mom's
hide her
gonna
behind
say
plants.
something. Miss,
Well,
Bernadette.
Yeah, I don't know. It'll be very interesting to see. I can't see her going through and having a baby. She's in the first, in the like her big break is happening. That really wrecks her big break.
Yeah.
She can't play Marilyn pregnant.
Now she's going to be focusing on a water break.
Yes, exactly. And that's just tough. Okay, let's talk about the songs really quickly. First song, Pretender by Karen. It was very vampy. I felt like it was really in her style. But okay, just real quickly, what was with that dress? The silver thing with the like partially sheer bottom and like flowers on it and stuff. I usually love her wardrobe. I think I enjoy looking at her, and that dress anyway.
Yeah.
It took me away from the song.
Watch it a second time.
Yes, you should. While I'm watching it a third time.
I think it was just supposed to, with the background, kind of stand out because the background was more of this white, very
You're so sweet.
modern.
The dress was lame. Let's talk about the song.
I'm not saying I would wear it.
You have an opinion. That's so sweet. All right, moving on.
You're adorable.
It was a nice shade of
are. What did you think about the song, though? Seriously.
It wasn't my favorite, but I didn't hate it.
Okay.
I felt like that was this episode in general. It wasn't my favorite, but I didn't hate it.
That's what we talked about before we went on the air. Any
It was
big
playful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't care
that's
for
as much
it
as I-
at all, actually.
Oh.
It was just like an
I really
MTV
feel?
performance, not
Okay.
like a Broadway performance for me.
Okay. Okay. I hear that. But Hit List is not a Broadway kind of
Right.
show. So
But it just looked like this is a recording artist that's lip syncing right now on stage.
I hear you.
Right.
I
I wanted to
agree with
hear
you.
her, but it looked like she was lip syncing.
I agree with you.
It's funny that you mentioned MTV because the song "I'm So Sorry" or "I'm Sorry"
Yep.
was actually they intro it as
The
at the
VMAs.
VMAs.
Yeah,
MTV
right.
VMAs.
There
so.
you go. Yeah.
I think
Okay.
Well, then they did their job.
the first time it did seem lip syncy. Like I know they lip sync in other songs, but it doesn't
Yeah.
sound like they lip or
Not
look.
all the time.
Yeah.
But
This
sometimes.
is really.
I also felt like it didn't have any emotion underneath it like it normally does. Like usually our song
Are you
performances.
talking about? Are you talking about Pretender? Okay.
Usually their song performances, there's some sort of parallel to what the character
Right.
is actually feeling. So I
Right.
felt less connected because we didn't get that with this performance.
Okay. All right. Next song, Grin and Bear It, was the cabaret song that Ivy sang during the concert. Yeah, her boobs are so close to falling out, was what I read.
I think I
Now,
wrote
that was an
some
ugly
derivative
dress.
of that. Too.
That was an ugly dress for me.
It was kind of an ugly dress, but it was a character dress, is the thing. It was, she was
Yeah.
supposed to be kind of a cabaret style stripper girl.
It wasn't even flattering though.
No,
Again, I was just so nervous her boobs were gonna fall out.
I
that
know.
It was distracting.
Goodness.
The song itself was fine. Well, they were talking about a striptease, so I'm like, oh, they're
she's
gonna
gonna
fall out.
strip, right?
Like these are gonna pop right. She
Right.
didn't even strip.
She didn't. I
She
thought
was just throwing scarves on those things on the ground, whatever shawl things.
yes,
just where she had-
scarves.
Yeah.
yeah. But
Why
I
was she
loved
nervous
how
about
I
that?
loved how she sold it, in the song, and I thought it was really fun. I thought the choreography was really fun. And I like the music, and boy, can that girl belt. That is where she's really,
Yep.
at her best. Kendra,
No, I
any
agree.
other thoughts about the song? Okay, let's move on to I'm Not Sorry, because we got to get through this. We're getting little notes.
Daisy's great. She's a good diva on the
She
performance
is.
level.
I thought, her voice was really fantastic.
Probably because she's a B word in real life. I mean, like not
Her
the
character,
actress,
yeah.
but her character
Yeah.
is a B word in real life.
Yeah.
And thus has the attitude of the diva. Anna's always been pretty nice, except when she's dating, Jimmy's
Sorry.
boyfriend and all that. But
Yeah.
I felt like they had weird choreography in that.
I thought the
that was weird.
choreography, the fisticuffs between the ladies,
Yeah, this thing.
that was ridiculous.
We should have
Do
done
that
that
again? No.
earlier, Tamara, when we were debating about social media. We should have been like,
Yeah, we
doing
should have
that
had
with each other.
fisticuffs. We should have.
I still don't see her. I don't see her being even more a diva than Anna. I'm sorry.
You don't see Daisy doing it.
No,
Okay.
I don't see it in her.
Okay. The messages got sent out at the end of that song, and the crowd went wild.
Yeah, they were more excited about that.
okay.
That's not good. All right, do we need to do some
Last
quick
song.
news? Wait, wasn't that it?
The
Wait,
Right
duet.
Regrets between Tom
the right
and
regrets.
Julia.
Yeah.
I just, yeah. Okay, I thought it was sweet.
Sentimental.
I was really surprised at Julia's voice.
Yeah.
I was surprised that she did a good job. I thought she did great. It was beautiful. It was sad.
she tweeted out really quickly that they actually took the first take of it because they wanted her voice to sound like she's not a singer because Julia is not a singer. And so
Right.
Deborah Messing was actually surprised that happened, and when they didn't re-record any of it, she's like, wait, what?
Wait.
That wasn't very good. Let me try that
I don't want
again.
to do that again. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. I loved when he came in. I'm a big
Yes.
fan of his.
Yes.
And well, that's all I have to say about that. Kendra, did you have anything to say about that song?
It was just a cute duet.
All right.
Nothing else.
Okay, Steven is really pushing us out. One thing that I want to talk about is I'll tweet out this link later, but tvline.com did an interview with Kyle, who talks about the intentional parallels between Rent and Hit List. It's a very interesting article. I'll tweet out the link to that later tonight. Okay, where do we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Sarah with an H Mendoza. I won't be here next week, guys.
Okay, before we go on to the next of you, finale is on Sunday the 26th. We're going to do our podcast on Monday the 27th, if you want to hear us live. Kendra, how do we find you?
I'm at Kendra with a K. Kabasele. At Kendra Kabasele.
And I'm
Kendra
at
Kabasele.
Kristin Carole 13 on Twitter.
You can find me at Tamara Berg on Twitter. Thank you, those of you who have found me. And tamaracentral.com is my website. We are going to see you in, I don't know, it's like 2 weeks or something for the finale.
Something like that.
13 days.
In 13 days.
13
We will
days,
see you then.
yeah.
Thanks for joining us for Smash. See you next time.
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.